In this video, we will post from Mastercam into the Sync Manager. We'll review the IOF status icon, and we'll discuss the relationship between Mastercam and the IOF.
Let's go ahead and post our toolpaths into the Sync Manager so we can simulate them. First, be sure that all your operations are selected, and then go ahead and hit the G1 Post button. This will create a .iof file and launch our process into the Sync Manager in Code Expert. You can see that we have two tabs now. We have a Start page, and notice when I change to this tab that it opens up the Sync Manager for this .iof. Code Expert manages the .iof file for us. You'll also notice that there is a green button. The green icon shows that the IOF file and the data in the PART file are the same. This icon is an important indication of the status of the .iof file. If you had only one operation selected, you'll see a red button instead of a green button. The red icon alerts you to the fact that the IOF data is a partial representation of all the IOF data in the PART file. There are instances you may want to work with a subset of all the toolpaths in the PART file for simulation purposes. We will be working with all of the operations in this course. If your icon is red, go back and reselect all the operations and repost into the Sync Manager. It will overwrite the existing IOF file and your icon will be green. If I make a change in the Sync Manager, the color of the icon changes to yellow. So for example, if I come down here and pick a coolant strategy or change the coolant strategy, you can see that my icon turned yellow. This signifies that a change has been made to the IOF file that has not been saved in the Mastercam PART file. In the future, we will make these types of changes and want to save them. Let me save them right up here. This saves the .iof file. The change is not permanent until the PART file is saved. In this case, I do not want to save it, so I'm going to close this instance of the IOF. I get a message asking me if I want to save my changes to the IOF. If I say yes, it will save them back to the Mastercam PART file. As I mentioned, it will become a permanent part of the project only if the Mastercam PART file is saved with the updated IOF data. So I'm going to say no to this, and I'm going to go back to the Mastercam PART file and relaunch again. This reloads the data from our PART file back into the IOF, and we're back to where we started. The other thing worth noting at this point is what happens if we change something in Mastercam. I'm going to open up a parameter in one of the toolpaths here. Now let's say I changed something, which I didn't, but Mastercam's not really sure at this point. You can see that I now have a lock on my IOF file. To unlock it, we must repost the PART file into the Sync Manager. So what that will do is take all the data that's in the PART file at this point. It'll take our change and it loads it into the IOF. So you can see we're back to a green icon again. Remember, in this case, we did not save the Mastercam PART file before we posted. Once we take a look at the changes, we need to remember to save any changes we made, including the IOF and the PART file, if we want this to become a permanent part of our project. To learn more about the different statuses of the IOS file, please refer to the help file on this topic. You can find it here in working with the Sync Manager. So under Understanding the Sync Manager Workflow, Overview of the Sync Manager Workflow, to work in the Sync Manager, and to check Sync Manager status. This gives a definition for all the different icons in the Sync Manager. So as we move forward in this product, keep in mind there's a relationship between the PART file and the IOF file that needs to be managed. and Mastercam will help you manage it with the icon on the Sync Manager tab. Pay attention to the changes that need to be saved in both the IOF and the part file, and make sure they get saved in the right places. We'll talk about the Sync Manager and the tools and options in it in more detail later in this course. Remember, in the end, it is the original Mastercam part file that stores all the data needed for your project.